Okay, so today we're going to be seeding up our peppers, our spicy peppers, as well as our sweet peppers. And we're also going to do some tomatoes, and I have just a handful of cabbages that I want to go ahead and get started as well. So I've got the trays that we previously put the seed starting mix into, and I grabbed our envelope. I showed you about my seed storage system in a previous video, but I'll put a card at the top for you if you missed that. And so here are the cabbages that I'm going to be starting today. This is from Hoss Tools. It's a red acre cabbage, the Wakefield cabbage, and then I have a hybrid. It's called the Stonehead from Gurney's. And one thing that I also do, I actually just dropped my envelope, I had to pick it up, is I put the tags in the envelopes with the seed packets so that I don't have to try to write them out as I'm seeding the cells. I can just drop them right in. So I'm using my tool here, and again, I'll put a link in the description box below on this particular tool. If you don't have a tool, you can use a screwdriver, a pencil, you know, just something to be able to make a nice uniform hole in your cells or in your cup or whatever you are using. So I'm gonna zoom in on the tray just a little bit so you can see this process. So I'm gonna use the smaller end here, the more pointy end, just to make just little impressions in my cell. And I'm gonna drop 3 seeds in each of these cells. You want to make the depth of your hole or your impression about as deep as the seed is big. They say about 2 times the width of the seed is how deep you want to put the seed. And you can see the broccoli seeds are teeny tiny. So you don't even, you know, really need to make a hole. You could just make like a little impression that you can see. So we're gonna just drop them in and then close it up. I'm not even making a full hole. It's kind of like just a little impression in the top of the soil. Now, I am not a fan of thinning out seeds. I know that, you know, a lot of people justify that because the seeds are very affordable. But if I get a seedling and I will try to separate that seedling and just give it its own little container once it gets to, you know, the right size. I don't like just thinning it out and just throwing away that germinated seed. It does seem like such a waste. Even on the large scale that we plant, I still try not to waste any seedlings or any seeds. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and place my tag. That is also the benefit of writing your tags out prior to starting to seed your cells, because you're gonna forget. We all do, we all forget. So if you already have your tag ready to go, that's one less thing you have to worry about. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these other 2 rows seeded with the other 2 varieties of cabbage, and I'll come back after that. Alright, so we got the cabbage all seeded into our tray, and we're going to move on to our sweet peppers. I do like to seed the sweet peppers and the spicy peppers in separate trays as much as possible, because I want them in different places in the garden. I don't want to plant the spicy peppers next to the sweet peppers. You know, sometimes my mom might come, or if one of the girls decide they want to go and try something out in the garden, I don't want them to accidentally pick a spicy pepper and I thought it was a sweet pepper. So I try to keep those things together in the garden, and the best way to do that is when I'm planting them, when I'm seeding them, I keep them together as well. So the sweet peppers that I'm going to be growing this year are shishito peppers. I grew this for the first time last year. I saw it on Roots and Refuge. Jess grew it, and she did this recipe where she blistered them in a cast iron and made like this aioli to dip them in, and I did that as well, and we loved it. So I'm definitely going to be growing more of those. I think last year I only grew like maybe 3 plants, so I'm going to grow the full 5 plants this year for this full row. And then I have the arroz con pollo. I like this because it says it resembles a habanero, but there's no heat, just the delicious flavor. So I'm going to be growing that one as well. And then I showed this on my what I ordered for 2023 Baker Creek video, this lesia pepper. And it says it's believed to be the sweetest of all peppers with the thickest flesh, and it is a total crowd pleaser with intensely juicy texture. So I have to try that one. And then this Corno di Toro pepper from Burpee. Now I'm growing this guajillo pepper because my middle daughter makes the birria tacos, and this is one of the peppers that she used. So when I saw that I could grow it, I asked her, I was like, hey, you want me to try to grow this? And she said yes. So this will be my first time growing this as well. We'll see how that goes. And then I have this hybrid sweet pepper. It's called Glow. It is from Johnny's, and it's an orange pepper, and it was new for them this year as well, I believe. And I thought I would try that. I love the orange and the yellow and the red bell pepper, so we'll see how that goes. And then lastly, I have this Tobago seasoning pepper, and it says it's the traditional ingredient used in jerk chicken. And it has scarlet peppers which reach 2 to 3 inches long with just a hint of heat is what the package says. But it says it's mostly sweet. So I want to give that a try as well. So pretty much all of these peppers, with the exception of the bell peppers, are going to be new to me this season. Now I do have other sweet peppers, like sweet banana peppers and some more bell peppers that I'm gonna start, but just not in this tray, because again, kind of based on the location of where they're gonna go in my garden, that's how I like to seed my seeds, if I can. Sometimes you just, you know, it makes more sense to seed it when you can. But since I have so many trays and I have such a large garden, I do try to ensure that I'm very intentional about, you know, which trays I seed on. So when it's time to either up pot or even just take these out to the garden, you know, it makes it easier at that time. So again, I already have my tags written out. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the seeds. For the peppers, I'll drop 2 seeds for each cell, and I'll come back when I'm done with that. All right, so I'm all done seeding up that tray of cabbage and sweet peppers. I'm gonna go ahead and put it up on my grow rack here. As I said previously, I have 3 lights. That tag. I have 3 lights on each tier, and that's so that I can have maximum coverage over the trays. And so that way I'll put 2 trays side by side on each rack. One thing you want to keep in mind is you want to keep like some type of mister bottle, water bottle I like this mister so that if your seedlings do start to dry out, sometimes the light will dry them out, you can just hit them, you know, mist the top of the cell with a little bit of water. I'll do that before I see the plants start peeking through. When the plants start peeking through, I really try to only bottom water. So my trays have, you know, the actual tray that the soil is in, and then I have a bottom tray. So I'll pour the water into this bottom tray when I notice that the plants are using more water. And I'll let the water sit in the bottom tray for maybe about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then I'll take that water and dump it off. You don't want to leave the bottom tray just saturated with water, because then you run the risk of your little baby tiny seedlings getting some type of root rot or fungus or something like that. So you want to give them just enough water to keep them happy, and then they know what else to do. So I'll go ahead and turn my lights on to show you what they look like. So they are pretty bright. Like I said, you want the full spectrum light, something that specifically says you can use them when you grow seedlings. Just do your research, because like I said, you may find people that also use shop lights and they have no issues. So that is pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and get my spicy peppers seeded. I'll run through those varieties with you really quickly. All right, I got my envelope of hot peppers, and I'm gonna be planting the Thai red chili. I absolutely love these peppers. I've grown them every year. They're really good to make powdered, you know, like cayenne pepper, but not cayenne pepper. It's Thai red chili pepper powder. And this is a new one. This is the rainforest chili. I'm excited to grow this because of all the color. And Super has been wanting to experiment with like hot sauce and more powder peppers, so we're excited to see what that's about. Then of course the jalapeno. I'm gonna grow this year probably about 20 jalapeno plants, which is I think about what I grew last year, 20, because we do a lot with jalapenos. I can a lot of jalapenos. We make salsa, we make pico de gallo, we do a lot of things with jalapenos, and I buy a lot of jalapenos even on top of what we grow. So maybe I'll grow 25 this year. I'm gonna grow a lot of jalapenos. Next I have the mushroom red pepper. This is from the M.I. Gardener. This is a new one. I'm excited because it says that it's stout shaped fruit that are hot once they mature to the red color. But I was really excited because this is an heirloom. This is a United States heirloom variety, and it's a great pickling pepper. So I was thinking, sometimes we make spicy pickles. I was thinking I could use some of this to spice up the pickles. We'll see. I'm excited to see what I can do with that. And then from the Hood Gardener, if you're not following her, be sure to follow her. She specializes in peppers. And I have Jay's Peach Ghost Scorpion from the Hood Gardener. And then I have two Trinidad Scorpion peppers, the chocolate variety and the yellow variety. And of course, I've got my tags already written out. I'm gonna go ahead and get these seeded, and I won't bring you back for that. Thanks so much for following us, family. We will talk to you soon. Peace and blessings from Super's Farm.